Stop. You eat honey every single morning, but do you actually know what honey is? Because once I tell you, you will never look at that little bear-shaped bottle the same way again. Bees, tiny, fuzzy, striped little creatures. They've been doing the same thing for over 100 million years, making honey. But here's the thing nobody asks. Why? For you, that's adorable, but no. Bees make honey because they need it to survive. Honey is their food, their winter storage. Every single drop made for themselves, not for you. Sorry. Here's the situation. In winter, flowers die. No flowers, no nectar, no food. Bees can't order delivery, so all summer long they're doing the most intense meal prep you've ever seen. Every worker bee, every single day, flying out, collecting nectar, bringing it back, turning it into honey. Also, the colony doesn't starve when December hits. Now, here's where it gets emotional. Worker bees only live for about 3 weeks in summer. 3 weeks, that's their whole life. They wake up, they work, they die. No vacation, no retirement, just work. And in those 3 weeks, one single bee produces 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey. That's less than what falls off your spoon when you're not paying attention. But the hive doesn't care because there are 60,000 bees in a hive, and every single day 1,000 to 2,000 new bees are being born. Every single day. The queen never stops producing. Worker bees die, new ones are born, the machine keeps running. It's kind of beautiful and kind of terrifying. Speaking of the queen, she's the only bee in the entire hive that lays eggs, up to 2,000 eggs per day, and she lives for up to 5 years. 5 years, while her workers live 3 weeks. You'd think the workers would resent her, but they don't. They actually love her. Worker bees constantly surround the queen, grooming her, feeding her, protecting her. She never feeds herself, never cleans herself. The workers do everything for her.
And it's not blind loyalty. The queen releases special chemicals called pheromones. These tell the whole hive, everything's okay, keep working, we're safe. If the queen dies, the whole hive panics within hours. They immediately start making a new queen, because without her, the colony falls apart. How do they make a new queen? They take a regular egg and feed that larva something called royal jelly. Just by eating royal jelly instead of regular food, that larva becomes a queen instead of a worker. Same egg, different food, completely different destiny. That's insane. Okay, back to the honey. A worker bee finds a flower, sucks up the nectar and stores it in a special stomach. She has 2 stomachs, one for eating, one for honey. She fills it up, flies back, and passes the nectar to another bee, mouth to mouth. That bee chews it, processes it with enzymes, passes it to another bee. This goes on for about 20 minutes. Then they deposit it into the honeycomb, which means honey is essentially processed bee stomach contents passed between multiple bees. I'm not going to say the V word, but you know what I mean. Then 50,000 bees fan their wings over the honeycomb for days until the water content drops low enough. They seal it with beeswax, and that's honey. That's what's in your kitchen right now. Here's the wild part. Honey never expires. Archaeologists found honey in 3,000-year-old Egyptian tombs, and it was still good. They tasted it. It was fine. Honey is the only food on Earth with an infinite shelf life. Bees accidentally invented immortal food. Now, can we talk about bee communication? When a bee finds a good flower patch, she flies back and does what's called a waggle dance. She literally dances to tell her sisters where the flowers are. The direction tells them which way to fly, the duration tells them how far, the intensity tells them how good the flowers are. It's a full GPS system encoded in a dance. Bees invented navigation before we invented the wheel. Bees can also recognize human faces. Studies have shown bees can be trained to recognize and remember specific people. They're not mindlessly buzzing around, they're watching you, they remember you. If you've been nice to bees in your garden, there's a real chance they know who you are. Individual bees even have personalities. Some are bold, some are timid, some fly far for nectar, some stay close to home. Researchers found bees have something like optimism and pessimism. Bees put in stressful situations made more pessimistic choices afterward. Bees have moods. Let that sink in. When a colony needs to move to a new home, they vote. Scout bees find potential locations, come back, and dance to promote them. Other bees go check it out. If they like it, they dance for it too. The location with the most bees dancing wins. It's a literal democracy. Bees figured out voting before most of human civilization did. Let's address the sting thing. Worker bees sting as a last resort because when they sting you, they die. The stinger tears out part of their abdomen. They know this. They're not aggressive. They're scared. A bee flying around you is just confused or curious. Stay calm, move slowly. They're not trying to hurt you. They're trying to survive. Let's appreciate the scale for a second. To make 1 pound of honey, bees collectively fly 55,000 miles, more than twice around the entire Earth. They visit 2 million flowers. 2 million for 1 pound. The jar you paid $5 for, may be forgotten in the back of your cupboard. Bees keep the inside of their hive at exactly 35 degrees Celsius all year. In summer, they fan air to cool it. In winter, they cluster together and vibrate their muscles to heat it. They rotate from the cold outside to the warm inside so nobody freezes. Here's something beautiful. Bees and flowers co-evolved over millions of years. Flowers evolved bright colors and sweet nectar to attract bees. Bees evolved the ability to see ultraviolet light, invisible to us, to see patterns on flowers we can't even imagine. Flowers made themselves pretty for bees. It's a 100-million-year-old love story. But here's the scary part. Bee populations are collapsing. Colony collapse disorder, entire hives disappearing overnight, is becoming more common. Pesticides, habitat loss, parasites, climate change. And 1/3 of everything you eat depends on bee pollination. No bees means no apples, no almonds, no avocados, no coffee. 1/3 of your grocery store, gone. The good news, small things actually help. Plant flowers, skip pesticides in your garden, buy local honey, leave a dish of water out in summer. You don't need to become a beekeeper, you just need to stop making their lives harder. Think about this. A worker bee is born. She lives 3 weeks, flies thousands of miles, visits thousands of flowers, makes 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey. She never sees the winter that honey was made for. She just works, contributes to something bigger than herself, and then she's gone. The hive continues, the honey remains, the colony survives. So next time you open a jar of honey, take 1 second just to recognize what went into it. The dancing, the voting, the queen they love, the 3-week lives, the 55,000 miles, the 2 million flowers. It's all in there, every single drop. Bees are kind of incredible, and they could really use our help right now. Go plant something, leave some water out. They've been doing their part for 100 million years. Maybe we can do ours. If you learned something today, subscribe. We drop videos like this every week. See you next time.